Do you have any idea how place feels like? Do you have any idea how the clouds of heavens feels like? Well, I'm not sure about that, but definitely Manchester United fans and the Manchester United lads definitely feel that. So they have done the double over their rivals and against their neighbours, and Solskjaer's side is going to remember this day. Another incredible fact is that Anthony Martial is the only Manchester United player to have scored against Man City in both legs since Cristiano Ronaldo in probably 2006 or 7. So for the young lad, it's a pretty insane stat. So before we begin discussing about this legendary match, consider subscribing, and if you liked it, please share this with your friends. So now let's get started with the boring part, which is the stats. The stats say that Manchester United had 12 shots, City had 7. Now, let's talk about the very silly and a very interesting part, which is the possession and the number of passes that both the teams have played. Manchester United have won 2-0. We'll talk about the last goal in a few minutes, but they have scored 2 goals, one by Anthony Martial. We'll talk about that as well. They had just 27% possession and Man City had 73. So the ball was with Manchester City, but they could not do anything with it. Yes, there is something that they did with it. That is, they actually successfully made 754 passes or pass attempts. That's what they did, whereas Manchester United did 292. Passing accuracy, Manchester City won again with 88%, whereas Manchester United had 73. So these are the places where Manchester City has won in this Manchester derby. But lots and lots of mistakes is also a part where Manchester City have won in this match, and that's what cost them the game. Yes, taking no credits away from Manchester United, they had a brilliant game. They played really well. It was clearly evident that they were actually exploiting the counter, exploiting Manchester City's defense. Manchester City's defense in counter attacks. Daniel James, he has blistering pace, and he was running all the time. Like, he was from the right hand flank. I have no words to describe how I felt watching Daniel James. So let's talk about that. The lineups that Manchester United used was 3-4-1-2, where in the one where Bruno actually played in a free role, and Bruno, honestly, there have been doubters, but Bruno is proving his worth in every game, and Anthony Martial is almost scoring in all the games. So really very good signs for Manchester United. Now let's break down the match a bit. There were defensive errors by Manchester City. Yes, there were defensive errors, but you have to be really present there and have presence of mind to actually exploit those minute defensive errors, which Manchester United did. Where we could see the first goal, the goal by Anthony Martial, where Bruno flicked the ball above and caught Manchester City's defense quite with a surprise. And yes, Martial with a calm and composed finish. And yes, there is something to talk about where you are Ederson and you are playing in that level, and that to such an important match, you make this mistake. Yes, Ederson got a touch, but he should have actually had a proper grip there, or even if not a grip, it was easy for him to actually punch it out and not concede this goal, because it was honestly the setup of the goal, the approach of the goal, brilliant. I don't know if they have practiced it in the training ground, or they have improvised on spot, but it was brilliant. But from Ederson's perspective, this is something a goalkeeper of your level does not do. Only kicking the ball high into the orbit is not going to help your team win. You need to actually stand up in the important matches. He has been playing good, but in this match he was really needed, and even though the rest of the team did a decent job, it was him because that's the reason Manchester City is where they are right now. They have lost against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Now let's talk about the second goal. Uh, after a few orbiting goal kicks by Ederson, he decided that yes, I'm going to throw the ball, but he did not decide how much power and whom to throw. But because McTominay was there to take the ball, and from the distance he cleared it, and it was a clean goal, and from the distance McTominay made it 2-0 at the dying moments of the game. And Edison was like taking his shirt and like covering his face. That's all you could do at that moment. But you don't make mistakes like that. You just don't make mistakes like that when you're playing in that level of game. I'm sure the fans are going to criticize him, kind of deserves it as well. But I hope he comes back in a better shape, in a better position, gets his confidence back, and hopefully these are the mistakes that he's not going to make in the international tournaments and in the upcoming UCL campaign and in the UCL matches as well. This is probably the last UCL they are playing in like 1 or 2 years. Like I'm talking about Manchester City, and if these kind of mistakes happen there, their dream is lost. So hopefully that will not happen. I want to point out a few players now. Point out a few players where I would like to point out Fred. He did a really good job. He was a machine in the midfield. He was there on all places. He was like actually just not working as a box-to-box midfielder, but also going sideways and also contributing defensively and offensively equally. That's something very, very important. You have to contribute as a box-to-box midfielder. You have to contribute evenly in both attack and defensive counterparts and like defensive operations. Aguero, I'm really concerned as he went off the pitch after an injury, and the ice pack on his foot was not really looking good, and it is concerning for Manchester City as they are going to face Real sometime soon. Foden had a really good game. James, brilliant. Matic, yes, he was a bit rough, but he was doing it for the team. Luke Shaw, I think, has lost his fitness and he is slowly becoming injury prone. And slowly he was injury prone, but slowly it's taking a toll on his game right now. So that is something he needs to work on. Brandon Williams, I'm really impressed by what he is doing in the last couple of matches. Harry Maguire, great. Van Bissaka did not let Sterling do anything from the right hand side. He was there like a rock, and he has been playing incredibly well in the last couple of matches. I'm really, really impressed, and kind of, I might be exaggerating, but I think he is in the top 5 right backs in the world right now. Yes, right now. Top 5 right backs easily, in my opinion. Hopefully, we'll hear about yours as well. Sterling, a below average game by Sterling. Gundogan as well. Zinchenko did what he could do. Otamendi had a good game. But honestly, I did not see the zeal of City in the match, and that's something that cost them. They were rough. They were actually losing their patience, and they were actually playing like an immature kid. Quite some time for in the first half, and quite like a good amount of time in the second half as well. Mendy was decent. Riyad Mahrez, on the other hand, had an immediate impact as he came on, where he actually destroyed Brandon Williams on the right hand side, and like the fakes that he does and how he plays the ball, it's very, very mesmerizing, and it's really, really good to see how a player can do these kind of tricks, but came to no use, and they lacked finishing. They missed quite a lot of chances. Manchester City had chances where they could have actually scored, got an equalizer, and maybe taken a lead as well. You never know, but they squandered a lot of chances. This is something really, really concerning, and this is something Liverpool was facing in the last 2 weeks, where they were not like being able to score as good as they used to, but slowly they're coming back and picking up their game once again after the loss and losing those matches. So that's hit them, and they have realized, and they have started taking it seriously right now. Another player I want to point out is McTominay. He has an immediate impact, and that player, I think is in there for the long term, and I won't be surprised if someday in the future he is named as one of the best in his position. So this is something, this is the amount of potential that the young lad has, and hopefully under Solskjaer he is going to shine, and Manchester United actually looks good right now. In the last season, they were looking really, really dull, and also in the beginning of the first season of this season. But right now, they look really, really positive. They have a lot of positives to take from this match, and hopefully, in the next matches, they are going to do something where they are going to qualify for the UEFA Champions League, and I really, really feel that they can actually successfully do that if they keep on this pace and this momentum running. So that's all for the match. Hopefully, all the Manchester United fans had a good game, and I guess slowly Manchester is slowly turning red once again. But then it's all speculation. You never know what can happen, and it's Pep, by the way. He can do wonders at like any time. He is unpredictable. So let's keep watching this game, and let's see where Manchester United end up at the end of the season. Hopefully you liked it. Consider subscribing and share this with your friends, and most importantly, even before you subscribe or share this with your friends, comment down on your views, because that's what we're looking forward to, and to get to know you more and also interact with you in the comment section. So till then, we'll see you in the next one.